Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar, Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jayo Nitai Gaur Sundar. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Stotra Satyata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. That was very, very, I would say over sweetness was there. So please keep coming again and again, and please make us all diabetic to Krishna's love and sweetness.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna
much.
once again. Pranams to you.
Pranams.
Over to you, Sunila. Please, give the intro. And I welcome once again, Prabhuji, to this ICF forum of Srimad Bhagwatam. We are blessed to have your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams and welcome to this ICF forum, Prabhuji. And today I consider myself so fortunate and privileged to introduce my first Shiksha Guru, His Grace Kalanidhi Prabhuji, who transformed an atheist like me to a neophyte devotee by connecting me to the books of Srila Prabhupada in 2020 and giving me this wonderful opportunity to stay in Krishna consciousness. And I'm still associated with Prabhuji by attending his online classes. And Prabhuji is a grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he joined ISKCON in 2002. Prabhuji's wife, Her Grace, Shyama Vallabhi Devi Dasi Mataji, is constantly with Prabhuji on the same journey. Prabhuji was general manager of SBI till 2017 and now serving the mission in a humble way through online classes on Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita, both in Tamil and English. Prabhuji likes reading books on Srila Prabhupada and books by Srila Prabhupada. This is the brief introduction of my Astiksha Guru. And over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. My sincerest, humble obeisances at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. I hope your purity will empower me to speak something that will be of value to all of you and will be in the sense of glorifying the Supreme Lord and the Parampara. So, as we begin to read from Srimad Bhagwatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, text number 34 to 39. I will just chant the praise to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I will read all the shlokas one round, and then devotees can also read. How do you like to? Would you like to read one shloka only, all of you, or would you all like to rotate the shlokas?
Prabhuji, if devotees will raise their hands, Prabhuji, so we'll call out the names and they will read shloka as well as purport also and translation, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you.
Devotees, please raise your hands so that I can call out your names.
So, shall I read now? 34?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Shraddha Tvangira Sapatni Chatashro Shuta Kanyakaha Sinivali Kuhuraka Chaturtyanumatis Tatha.
Archana Mataji, you can read the shloka. Translation
Hare
by
Krishna.
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Prabhu. Shraddha Tvangirasa Patni Chatashroshoda Kanyaka Shinivali Kuhuraka Chaturte Anumadistata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Angira's wife Shraddha gave birth to 4 daughters named Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anumati. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Pranam Prabhuji.
सोमो भूद्ब्रह्मणोंशेन दत्तो विष्णोस्तु योगवित् दुर्वासा शङ्करस्यांशो निबोधाङ्गिरसप्रजाः.
Sudha Mataji, you can read the shloka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Tat putrav aparavashtam khyatau swarochishendare uttatyo bhagavan sakshat brahmishtascha brahaspatihi. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Sharmila Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Besides these 4 daughters, she also had another 2 sons. One of them was known as Uttaya, and the other was the learned scholar Brahaspati. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think by oversight I had read another shloka. I will read 35 again. Tatputravaparavastam astam yatau svarochishendare utatyo bhagavan sakshat brahmishthascha brihaspatihi. I will read 36 also. Pulastyo janayat patnyam agastyam cha havirbhuvi sonya janmani dahragnir vishravascha mahatapaha.
Archana Mataji, you can repeat the shloka, 36 shloka Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pulastyo ajanayat patnyam agastyam cha havirbhuvi sonya janmani tahragnir vishravascha mahataba.
Divya Mataji, you can read the translation Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Pulasya begot in his wife Havirbhu one son of the name Agastya, who in his next birth became Dargni. Besides him, Pulasya begot another very great and saintly son whose name was Visrava. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text number 37. Tasya yakshapatirdevaha kuberastu idavidasutaha ravana kumbhakarnascha tathanyasyaam vibhishanaha.
Suma Mataji, you can read the shloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Tasya yakshapatirdeva kuberastva idavida suta ravana kumbhakarnasya tathanyasyaam vibhishana. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Shilpa Mataji, you can read the translation.
Thank you, Mataji. Pranam Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Visrava had 2 wives. The first wife was Idavida, from whom Kuvera, the master of all yakshas, was born. And the next wife was named Kesini, from whom 3 sons were born, Ravan, Kumbhakaran, and Vibhishan. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Text number 38. Pulahasya gatir bharya trin asuta sati sutan karmashreshtham variyamsam sahishnum cha mahamate.
Suma Mataji, you can read the shloka. Sudha Mataji, you can read the translation. Suma Mataji, you can read the shloka.
Hare Krishna, sorry Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pulahasya gatirbharya trin asuta sati sutan karma shreshtham variyam sam sahishnum cha mahamate. Hare Krishna.
Sudha Mataji, translation,
Hare
and Shilpa
Krishna.
Mataji, purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to 3 sons named Karma Shrestha, Variyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Shilpa Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gati, the wife of Pulaha, was the 5th daughter of Kardama Muni. She was very faithful to her husband, and all her sons were as good as he. Thank you, Mataji. Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Text 39. Kratorapi kriya bharya valakilyan asuyata rishim shashti sahasrani jvalato brahma tejasa.
Uma Mataji.
Mataji, can I try, Shloka?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Kratorapi kriya bharya val khilyan suyate rishin shashti sahasrani jvalato brahma tejasa. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Divya Mataji, translation, and Sudha Mataji, purport.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Kratu's wife Kriya gave birth to 60,000 great sages named the Valakiya. All these sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge and their bodies were illuminated by such knowledge. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Kriya was the 6th daughter of Kardama Muni, and she produced 60,000 sages who were known as the Valkylias because they all retired from family life as Vanaprasthas. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, once again, I extend my warm greetings and sincere humble obeisances to all of you. I am grateful to the organizers of this ISF forum for giving me a chance to speak and glorify the books of Srila Prabhupada. So, right now we are in the 4th canto, where we are seeing simply names. To us, they are simply a list of names. Srila Prabhupada, after he took sannyas and he was in Vrindavan, he was trying to recollect about his own past life. All the events came in front of his eyes, and all the people who were there in his life, they also came in his imagination. And then he laughed. He said, all that is left of my past is just a list of names. So ultimately, if you look at our existence in this material world, as we grow older and older, some kind of a wisdom dawns on all of us. And then we begin to feel, ultimately, there really seems to be no value in this. No, like when you peel an onion layer by layer, ultimately there is nothing left except the tears in your eyes. In the core, there is really absolutely nothing. So the material life is like that for a person who is not God conscious. Ultimately, there really is nothing left except the tears. We become so much attached to our own body and our bodily connections in the form of I and mine. And then ultimately, as the old age creeps upon us, each person who was there in our life, they have their own life to lead. Nobody can really be blamed. At some point of time, everyone has his own family. Like at one point of time, I was obsessed with my own family. Own family means what? Me, wife, children. So everyone has that. Everyone has multiple responsibilities in their life. They have to balance their work. They have to balance their finances, the career, the family, and they have so many things to take care of. So what happens is, gradually everything seems to move away from me. At one point of time, I was the center of my existence. I was the center of my world. But then slowly nature reveals that you were never the center actually. It was all simply an illusion. Wake up. Jiva jago. Ultimately, who has to wake up? The jiva has to wake up. With the bodily consciousness, the identification with the body has led us into such a dream where we became the center, we became the proprietor, controller, and enjoyer. But whoever we are in this life, maybe the CEO of a big corporate, or a prime minister of a big country, or such big political leaders, whatever you might be, a day will come when everything will be revealed and you'll be peeled off all the layers, what you considered as your own, holding on so tightly, but the layers will be peeled off. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Krishna says, in the form of death, I will take away everything. Whatever you hold on, so dear to you. So actually, one wonders whether it is good to live very long or to die early. Because sometimes if you live too long, whoever was dear to you, you will see them leaving one by one. I recollect when my father was a patron of Hindu. I no longer patronize his paper. But at that time, in his retired life, my father was a banker. And in his retired life, he would open the newspaper and his eyes would go to the obituary column straight. And in the obituary column, you will see sometimes only names. I will see sometimes stamp size photograph of somebody with a small write-up below. And there'll be so many of them. And my father would read them patiently. I would think, my God, in a paper with 12 or 16 pages, this is the only page he wants to see. But that was his obsession. He would read and sometimes he would comment. Oh, this so-and-so person, I know. This so-and-so person was. This is a tendency that comes up, to realize that, oh, somebody well known to me, very dear to me, gone. When is my turn? I see many old people, one of their favorite hobbies is to ask, oh, how old are you? How old is your father? How old is your mother? Oh, I am so many years old. The kind of, the peer comparison. Who all are alive? How much more I have to live? When is my turn? Mera number kab aayega? So this kind of a thing, as one ages, one realizes the irrelevance of oneself to this world. This world, like a river, keeps flowing. And we, like a log trapped in the current, we just flow along. But somehow we develop a sense of self-importance, that false ego that holds on to us. So Bhagavatam helps us to untie that knot. Hridaya Granthi, the knot of the heart, which is tying us to this material body, which is, we all know it is temporary. Like in Yaksha Prasna, how Yudhishthira Maharaj answered, which is the greatest wonder of this world? The greatest wonder of this world, he replied, is everyone sees death around them. All their near ones, dear ones, they see them passing. One's father and mother are no more. Grandfather, grandmothers are certainly no more. And so many youngsters are also going. And in that situation, one believes, I will be there forever. And Yudhishthira Maharaj very correctly points out, this is the wonder of this material existence. This is what keeps the material world going. Everyone thinks, I am important and I'll be there forever. I recollect, my wife used to laugh. As I was nearing my retirement, we would be going, I was in the audit team, management audit team, we would be going from different places to places. They would send a youngster, newly joined person to take us around out of courtesy, respect, to receive us at the airport, take us around and things like that. And to this person, I would ask, where are you stationed? What is your position? What are you doing? And they will start advising them. This is how you must be. Very clearly, I can see in their eyes no interest. But I would still feel I am such an important person. I have so much experience behind me. I should share it with this person. My wife would say, why did you waste your energy? They were not listening on me. So somehow we should get rid of this feeling that I am an important person. How to get rid of that? By making Krishna the center of our existence. As Krishna moves into the center of our life, without realizing, we move to the periphery automatically. Krishna moves in, and he never moves in alone. Sometimes my guru used to say, just give a little space to Krishna. So in our preaching also, we don't try to push Krishna center stage to some new person you are teaching. We don't try. I get rid of all these things. Only Krishna, nothing else on your altar. No need to say that. Krishna will do that. Give him a little time. Krishna will do that. Krishna will empty the altar out. Nobody can be there except him. That will happen. Just give time. Just make a little room for Krishna. Just make a little room. You offer your food before eating. You offer it to Krishna. Chant the Maha Mantra. You are chanting Lalita Sahasranama? Very nice. Very good. Please don't give it up. That's very good. You chant Om Namah Shivaya 1008 times. Please don't give it up. Please do continue. But just add one round of this Maha. This is called Maha Mantra. Please add one round. That's all. Preaching is so easy. Just bring Krishna into our altar. Just chant one round. Just offer some prasadam to him. Bhoga to him. That's it. And Krishna will do. He will occupy everything. Chore. He steals everything. He makes space for himself. So this is the experience of all devotees. How Krishna entered in their life. And now how Krishna, there's nothing other than Krishna in their life. So this is what we do. Just take Krishna. Realizing that up to now, I thought my body was everything. Now I realize body is just a shell or a cage. I am trapped inside. I am a soul, spirit soul. The spirit soul has taken so many bodies. This is just one of the bodies. This is just one of the names. I have a name in this lifetime. I had so many names before. I will have so many names in future. This is just one of the names, which is a label for this body only. This is not me. This name doesn't describe me. Of course, the name given by Guru is something special, but our karmi name, there. The name given to the body. The father and mother doesn't know the soul. We are completely indebted to our parents for giving us this amazing body, which has given us connection to Krishna consciousness. But the parents don't know the soul. But now the Guru has brought us in touch with the soul. That's why we are called Dvija. We are called Dvija because Guru gives me the second birth. My first birth, the body was given by parents. But my second birth, soul realization given by Guru. And then the Guru teaches the soul's connection with the super soul. Super soul is after all a reflection of Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Guru connects you to your own nature as the soul and the soul's inherent connection to Krishna. So that way Guru becomes your true parent eternally. Janme Janme Prabhu. Our material parents for this one lifetime, but Guru eternally. We can never give up the association of our Guru because he opened our eyes forever. So that is the situation we have when we come into Krishna consciousness. So that way, the names that we see here, they are in association with the secondary creation by Brahma. Sarga, Visarga. Sarga is what the Supreme Lord has done, amazingly manifesting unlimited universes from the pores of his skin, and then entering into each one of them as Garbhodakasai Vishnu, becoming the soul of the universe, and then entering into each and every atomic particle inside that universe, he becomes Kshirodakasai Vishnu. So it is all Vishnu. Life comes from life. Starting point Mahavishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, and then all the living souls, which are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, they agitate, they get various forms, and they start living their life. So first primary creation by the Supreme Lord, and from Garbhodakasai Vishnu's navel lotus, the first unborn living entity, Brahma comes, and then he does the rest of the secondary creation. And when he does a secondary creation, again, At one stage, he comes to Manu. When he produces Manu, all other prior entities, they become so very happy. And they congratulate Brahma for this amazing creation. Oh, Brahmaji, we are so happy with this particular creation that you have made. So how life to life to life? You ask the modern scientist, they will say there was matter, a chunk, and the chunk exploded. And out of that, so many particles came out like a cracker exploding. And then so many chemicals, because at very high temperature, high intensity explosion, high gravitational pull, all mass compressed in one particle. So that huge explosion gave rise to very hot plasma. And from that plasma, slow condensation. And it gave rise to so many chemicals. From those chemicals, life-forming chemicals. Anyway, it's a big list. Ultimately, small combinations. Within that, life evolved. So they say from matter, life evolved. So who is our original source? Chunk. What is your original source? It's a chunk of lifeless matter. Is it possible for any intelligent person to accept? But by continuously drilling it into our head, my father's head, my grandfather's head, my great-grandfather's head, the entire Western system of education into which we have been tutored for centuries, we believe Big Bang is true. And then along comes Darwin 300 years ago, and we say, yeah, from the chunk, at one point of time, monkeys came. And the monkeys evolved into me, adding insult to injury. I thought all the time I was from a chunk. Now I also know I am actually a monkey also. So my forefathers are monkeys. So this is the scientific understanding. Now imagine the children who are given this kind of education, what they will grow up into. If they grow up into monkeys, no regrets. Yeah, my ancestors were monkeys only. So I am also a monkey. Whereas you see this narration, we have all come from life to life to life to life. And the original life is Mahavishnu. And we are all, by generations, somewhere we are linked to Mahavishnu. We are linked to Brahma. And then we are linked to these great rishis. Right now we are seeing Swayambhuva Manu had 3 daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti, right? Now, Kardama Muni married Devahuti, and from her 9 daughters came, and these 9 daughters married great rishis, and from these rishis, other rishi paramparas came, and we are all connected to these paramparas. See, I recognize my gotra here. My gotra is there in today's songs. Where is that? Angira, right? We saw Angira here or no? 34?
Yes, Prabhuji, 34.
Yes. So see, my gotra goes like this. Abhivadaye Angirasa Bhargaspadya Bharadwaja. Here, at least 2 names are here. Angira Muni is there, and Angira Muni's wife, Utatya, gave birth to Brihaspati. So I am in that parampara. Angira, Brihaspati, then Brihaspati's son is Bharadwaj. So I trace my lineage like that. I am connected to Kardama Muni. How meticulously our ancestors have maintained records. When I meet an elderly person, a senior person, I go and offer my dandavas to him. First, I close my ears like this and narrate my pravara. Abhivadaye Angirasa Bhargaspadya Bharadwaja Trayarshaya Pravaranvita Bharadwaja Gotraha. My gotra is Bharadwaja. And these are my ancestors. And offer my name is so and so. And I offer my dandavas to you. I am Bharadwaja. Okay, this is for the body. But now we have come to Krishna. Now what is my gotra? My gotra is Achyuta Gotra. We no longer have to maintain so many gotras. We all belong to Achyuta Gotra. What is this Achyuta? Why this name Achyuta is chosen? Why not Krishna Gotra? That's also nice. Why Achyuta Gotra? That's a special significance. If you read the 15th chapter, The Supreme Lord is described as Achyuta, infallible. Never he falls down. So to which Gotra I belong? I belong to Achyuta Gotra. We never fall down. Not only the Lord doesn't fall down, the soul also doesn't fall down. You will read as you go on to read Bhagavad. The soul doesn't fall down. The pure souls, which are in the spiritual world, they don't fall down. They Achyuta. So our connection is to that Achyuta, the Supreme Lord. So the soul's pollution with matter is temporary. The soul's pollution with the material nature is an illusion. We have to clear the illusion and we have to reconnect with the Supreme Lord. So when we say Achyuta Gotra, it's a reminder we belong to that one who is Achyuta. He never falls down. I belong to that. As long as I identify with the body, I am Chuta. But when I identify with the soul and as a servant of the Supreme Lord, then I belong to Achyuta Gotra. So like this, we understand how modern science is perverting the consciousness of people towards manifesting bad behavior, bad character, bad thoughts. So why should we have that kind of a science? Science without conscience. That becomes con science. It is there only to con people. It takes away the meaning from your life. It takes away the worth from your life. It just makes you a machine. You came from matter, you return to matter, and that is the end of the matter. So from that, Bhagavatam, thanks to Srila Prabhupada's translation, it has brought us into connection with the Supreme Truth. We have to retain our connection with the Supreme Truth by constantly chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that way, one day we will shed our material body that everyone has to do. Anyone born into this material world has to give up the body one day. But Tyaktva Deham, Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Swarjana, Krishna's promise. Tyaktva Deham, when you give up the body, Punarjanma Naiti, you don't take a rebirth in this world of birth and death. This is the world of Punarbhava. This is the place of birth and death. But Mameti Swarjana, you come back to me, where there is no falling down. There is no Chuta. After that, you are Achyuta. You don't fall down again. So Krishna is saying, come back to me, where there is no more rebirth. So thank you very much for your patience. I think my presentation is finished. I have already overshot the time. I don't know whether you have time for question answers. Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji, it's still 11 o'clock, Prabhuji.
But we still have time.
Yes, Prabhuji, up to 11 o'clock.
Oh, Jai. Okay. Oh, that gives us a lot of time. So let us have one set of question answers, then we will move on. So devotees, please, you can ask your doubts and questions, make your comments. I might have made some mistakes here and there. Please do correct me. Hare Krishna.
Devotees, if you have any doubts, please raise your hands.
And you can post in the chat box also.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm sorry.
Mataji, you go ahead. I'll ask second.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So the takeaway points from today's shloka is that we are all infallible and we all belong to the Achyuta Gotra. Is it only that, Prabhuji? Like we have our parampara, what you said. Is it that, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. So, guide me.
Thank you, Mataji. Actually, there are two takeaways. One takeaway is that once we have come to Bhagavatam, we are entering into a new world of wakefulness. Up to now, we were living in a world of make-believe, dream world, where we were greatly influenced by materialistic people, materialistic scientists, who made us all the time believe that you are just an accident. When water is flowing, some bubbles, because of entry of air particles, some bubbles form. And the bubbles remain for some time, bubbles go away. They have no meaning at all. So your existence is like that. You came, you exist, and you die. Finished. Charvaka or Buddha. You live and you finish. That's all. At least Buddha is better. You know why? Even though Buddha gives a Shunyavad, but Buddha at least says, see, until you give up desire, you will take rebirth and you will suffer. Desire is the cause of suffering. And as long as you have some desire, when you die, you will take rebirth. Very interesting. Buddha's philosophy. He says, there is no soul. He doesn't discuss whether there is soul existing or not. But he says, Shunya is the ultimate. Zero is the ultimate. But how to enter that zero and become zero? You have to give up all desires. So he has some philosophy. Even though it is based on zero concept, but there is some philosophy. But modern scientists, they say, body and soul one and the same. Soul is simply an effervescence. Like you mix some chemicals, some fumes come. That's also matter only. So this is the consciousness that we display. It is simply interaction of chemicals. Prabhupada was the strongest person to argue this. He directly faced the scientists and would fight with them. How do you say that we are simply chemical? That life is not something superior to matter? How do you say that? I will give you all the chemicals. You are the scientist. You have all the chemicals. Then why don't you create life? You have a dead body. Infuse some chemicals. Make the body alive. Or Prabhupada would say, you are saying that everything is only chemical based. Show me where life is coming spontaneously from chemicals. Prabhupada went to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and Prabhupada asked this question. He says, okay, for all these questions you have no answer. At least, do you have a department? You are proudly saying, we have departments for every branch of science. Please tell me, where is the department which studies the difference between a dead body and a living body? Because according to you, everything is chemical. So between dead body and living body, what is the chemical difference? We can compensate that and we can make the body live again. Why such a department is not there? Is it not important for mankind? You scientists are convinced that we are all some combination of chemicals only. But one day we die, some chemical deficiency. Make it up. Why you don't have a department? They put their heads down. They could not reply. Prabhupada did not say, have you solved the problem? They will say, we will solve it in future. But Prabhupada asked, how you will solve if you are not even studying it? So that way, Prabhupada called the bluff on their face. Prabhupada had the courage to directly visit university scientists and pose this question. So now, coming to Bhagwatam, now we are realizing, oh, how we have been shortchanged. They have taught us to identify ourselves with this body so much that we also believe one day I will die and that will be the end. Even though when Malaya Paksha comes, we do for our ancestors so much. Ancestors are dead and gone. Then why you are doing Shraddha ceremony? They are dead and gone. Why you are doing? That we will do ritualistically. But again, we will believe what the scientist says, when I die, everything finished. Or at least look at the way we are living, the majority of us, how we are living. We are only worried about this lifetime. Even if I am past 60 years old, how much more I have to live? Maybe another 20 years, maybe 30 years. My focus is on this period only. Or maybe focus is on maybe not this body, but the offspring of this body. That has also no significance. If my body is gone, what connection do I have with the offspring of this body, byproducts of this body? But our whole life goes like this. Because we have been taught that this is one life you have, live it up. When you are dead, nothing is left. This is Charvaka. This is Charvaka. Modern science, you say, but this is oldest science. It is in the Veda, Charvaka philosophy. It's in the Vedas. Our MA Sanskrit students learn this. Look at this, the tragedy of India. There is MA Sanskrit, and in the syllabus, they mainly study Charvaka. How interesting, no? Because we are a secular society. Some topics are taboo. Some topics are allowed. So look at the fate of our children. Anyway, that is one dimension. So that is one takeaway, that I am not this body. But even if I take I am this body, I am not ordinary. I have descended from such ancestry. All of us have descended from Brahma. Please consider. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Who is our original father? Brahma. Do you think Kshatriyas were born from some other father? No. From the Virat Rupa. See, if the Shudra came from the legs of Virat Rupa, are they inferior? They came from the lotus feet of the Virat Rupa, from Supreme Lord, Purushottam Bhagavan. They came from his legs, but they feel it's an insult. We are all trying to somehow hold on to the lotus feet of the Lord. When we go to the temple, we are taught, look at the lotus feet of the Lord. You have no qualification to look at his lotus face. Focus on the lotus feet. Beg for residence there as a dust. So this is our consciousness. So our connection with the Supreme Lord, that is an important takeaway for us. How can I continue to Amritasya Putra? That is what the Upanishad says. Amritasya Putra, wake up. You are the sons of immortality. Immortality. Wake up. You won't die. So this is the important takeaway. When we read the whole parampara, we remember that there is a Sarga and there is Visarga. Sarga, Supreme Lord. Visarga, Brahma, who is the son of the Supreme Lord. Then tertiary Sarga, I don't know how you can call it, from Manu downward. Manu is the son of Brahma. So what is going on here is a completely spiritual existence. How did we make it material? When we look at it this way, Supreme Lord, then Brahma, then Manu, born from the heart of Brahma and his parampara. Where did we lose our spiritual consciousness? How did we become so much associated with matter? So this is simply a covering. The more we desire to enjoy, control this existence, the more we get trapped. And because of this trapping, we have lost our touch with our inner core, which is the spirit soul. So the whole business, as I said, is about peeling the onion. In a materialistic way, if you peel the onion, nothing is left. A list of names, that's it. But if you peel with the eye of a spiritualist, then you see at the center, Krishna and you as his eternal servant. Both are eternal. Krishna is eternal. The spirit soul, his part and parcel, his eternal servant is also there. So we retain our eternity in a sense of humility. Forever, Krishna, I am your servant. Never there will be a time when I will be your master. Forever you will be my master and I will be your servant. This is the ultimate takeaway of Srimad Bhagavatam. When we get to this realization, then we are no longer disturbed by all the waves that are battering us from all around in this material world. And increasingly so in this modern so-called scientific world. They will constantly try to take the position of God. I don't know how many of you realize this. Our scientists are simply trying to replace God from the time of Darwin. The reason is, unless they take over, they will have no more accountability. You know, once I become God, God has no accountability. So scientist wants to be God. If there is God, scientists are accountable to God also. They don't want. They want to take over the position. So very systematically, they are polluting our consciousness to believe that in future, all problems of mankind will be solved. I don't know. One question I'm taking a long time to answer, but anyway, in this, I'm answering many other possible questions also. In the United States of America today, there are many multi-billionaires and multi-millionaires. They have so much money, they don't know how to spend, where to spend. They really don't know, completely confused. They are busy adding to it, but they don't know really. Many of them are in their 70s and 80s. They don't know how they will spend it. Many of them write it to their pets' names without knowing what the pet will do with his money. But there are hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies of these millionaires and billionaires which are preserved in a cryogenic solution, right? In super cool temperatures. They give them the body and they clean the body inside out, and then they inject certain fluids inside. They replace the blood because the blood will spoil fast. They replace it with some cryogenic solutions, and they suspend you in a huge tub, transparent tub, and your body is hanging there, and it remains there. And they have given a guarantee, we will maintain this until such time technology develops to give life. And these billionaires and millionaires, they are hoping that they will come back into their body and live. Not come back. They don't have consciousness of body and soul. They think this body will become alive and I will be alive. Many scientists themselves are saying, what nonsense in the name of science, how people are getting cheated. But these millionaires and billionaires think, what do I have to lose? When I die anyway, I don't know what to do with this money. Let me give this money to all these corporates. They say they will keep my body. See, just imagine, you have made a deal with a dying person. You have no accountability. You have collected from him $1 lakh or $5 lakh, I don't know, with the guarantee that I will preserve your body. To whom I am accountable? You are dead and gone. Your body is lying with me only. So if I don't preserve your body, so please understand how scientists are conning the world, because they have no conscience. They are conning the world. They want to become God. So we should protect ourselves first. I don't know, our grown-up children may be beyond redemption. We cannot teach them, but we can somehow bring them to associate with senior devotees. Someday they may wake up. But this is a horrible thing being forced on us by scientists, because the scientist industrial political complex, this is what they say, especially in the West. Now it is very much here in the East also. Scientific, political, industrial complex, they work together. They work together. So much so that you and I will become obliging victims. We will never even complain. We will never even realize that we are being cheated. So this is what, Mataji, is it okay? Is there anything that I left uncovered?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very wonderfully explained, Prabhuji. I had a question that when you say Gotra, so like when women, they get married and go into a in-laws house. So for women, which Gotra they have to follow? Because this, I'm little confused with the Gotra for the married woman. Prabhuji, if you can throw some light. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Gotra is basically used to ensure that there is no brother sister getting married, right? So you don't marry within the Gotra, because those who are, they are all Dayadi. They are same Gotra means, like I should not marry another Bharadwaj. I mean Bharadwaj Gotra. Actually, they are Garga Gotra. There is one more Gotra called Garga Gotra. That Garga is the son of Bharadwaj. So we don't intermarry between Garga and Bharadwaj also. Okay, so sometimes some Gotras like Vishwamitra Gotra and Kaushika Gotra, there are two Gotras. People don't marry like that also. So basically, in the modern, in the current times, Gotra is mainly useful to prevent this kind of consanguinal marriage, we call it. No? The brother-sister kind of marriages should not happen. So when a woman marries, she takes the Gotra into which she marries. Husband's Gotra becomes the Gotra for the wife. So the woman actually has two Gotras. Until marriage, she has one Gotra, but after marriage, that is gone. She has now taken the husband's Gotra. That way, this is the purity of the Gotra is preserved. Okay? But once you come to Achyuta Gotra, forget all this. Of course, for marriage purposes, for conventional reasons, we may continue that. But once you are in Achyuta Gotra, you are no longer in the bodily consciousness. Not that we should give up all our tradition, no. We have come in a Varnashrama system, and because of that Varnashrama system only, we have reached a certain level of evolution. Honestly, the kind of evolution you will see in an Indian, a very uneducated, degraded Indian, will be much more than what you will find in a highly educated Westerner. Because it is in our blood, it is in our gene, it's in our gene. Spontaneously, we have this belief that God is there. Spontaneously, we believe in rebirth. Spontaneously, we believe that every sin will have to be endured by suffering only. You have to destroy sin only by suffering. And you have to enjoy whatever virtue you have done. For that, enjoyment is waiting. There is complete accountability for everything. And there is someone keeping the accounts. Paramatma within, keeping the accounts. I may change my body. I may forget whatever I have done. But Paramatma keeps complete accounts. So he will ensure that whatever should come to me will come. So they give an example. No? Supposing there are 1,000 cows in one grazing field, 1,000 cows. And then you want untie one calf, newborn calf. And the calf will trace its own mother among these 1,000. Like that, our karma. I change body so many times, but my karma will come out. No escaping. That karma will come. So we should never fear that my good karma, who will take it. Actually, if you read Ishopanishad, in the final shlokas, you see, Kritosmara, Kritam Smara, Kritosmara, Kritam Smara. We pray to the Supreme Lord. You will remember whatever I have. See, supposing you are in a corporate world and you are reporting to a CEO, many times you don't know all good things you do, whether the CEO will know it or not. Even if you write a 5-page self-evaluation, self-appraisal, you don't know whether he will read it or not. And if he reads also, whether he will fully appreciate it or not. Right? But here is a Paramatma. In this whole world, who understands me better than anyone else? Does my spouse understand me? Do my children understand me? Do my parents? Do my teachers? Who understands? Paramatma. So no one should ever regret. There is one person ultimately who has perfect empathy for you, not sympathy, empathy. Completely understands every thought in your heart. If you're looking for someone to cry, oh, I want a shoulder on which I can cry, who can fully understand my feelings, here is Paramatma. Always waiting to hear us. Actually, see, Paramatma is such an amazing personality. He's sitting with us in the heart, in the tree of this body, along with the soul, waiting that someday the soul will turn. The soul is busy, engrossed in eating bitter fruit, sweet fruit, bitter fruit, sweet fruit, enjoying suffering, enjoying suffering. Paramatma is just waiting. Array, the day you turn to me, you'll be perfectly happy, like I am. Asa adityo brahma, brahmaiva ahamasmi, the Veda says. Just as the sun is self-illuminating, sun doesn't need any special illumination. You don't carry a lamp to the sun. Sun illuminates itself and it illuminates the whole creation. The soul is like that. Soul is self-illuminating and it illuminates the world for us. This body is a dead matter. It is a soul within. Prabhupada explains in so many different ways. That's why we should hear Prabhupada. You should hear Prabhupada's lectures. You should read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada has a special way of presenting it because it is coming from a realized soul. The words of special power. So Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, how the consciousness of the soul, which is so subatomic particle, so you cannot capture it in any laboratory instruments, subatomic, but its consciousness is spread throughout this body. The body could be of a microbe, or the body could be of an elephant or a dinosaur. Still, the consciousness of that subatomic soul spreads to every nook and corner of that body. Such an amazing power the soul possesses. And that soul is a tiny particle of the Supreme Lord. So that is the correct understanding of who we are. It is so powerful. So Prabhupada explains, so if I cut my hand, the consciousness is out of this hand, but consciousness is there in the rest of this body. My legs are cut, right? Different parts of the body cut, but the consciousness is still there in what is left of the body. And where is that soul? It is in the heart. In the region of the heart, it is floating on 5 pranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. 5 pranas are floating in my heart. They are pumping the blood all over the body. And that energy is coming from that tiny, invisible soul. Prabhupada explains, if you're walking a boy by hand, he happily walks along with you because the life is present inside. But it is a dead body, you need 2 people to carry or 4 people to carry. It becomes so heavy. But this tiny soul lifts the body casually. one tiny soul in the heart of an elephant lifts up the whole elephant, makes it run, makes it break trees, right? But that one tiny soul gone. How to lift that elephant now? How many people are needed to lift that? This is the power of the soul. So that soul which is inside this body, I should connect with that. And as you connect with that, then you connect with the Supreme Lord. Then your real relationship becomes known to you. As long as you are identifying with this body, that relationship will not be known to you. Thank you, Mataji. I think
Hare Krishna, wonderfully explained, Prabhuji. I have a second question just pertaining to this, but I'll let Shobha Mataji ask her question first. And if we have time, then we can go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Shobha Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Wonderful session, Prabhuji. A small question, Prabhuji, is like I was talking to one of the Gita course participants who have joined recently, just 2 or 3 weeks ago only. So a small discussion was going on with that person. Like he was saying, if God is present, you are saying like a super soul in us, in everything He's there. Kan kan mein Bhagwan. Then why do we need to go to the spiritual world to be in contact with him? We can live here also happily now. Then, so I was trying to make the person understand about the Paramatma, Brahman, and but the person was not convinced. So I was just looking like, how can I convince this thing, or maybe I just want to clarify myself also now.
Thank you, Mataji. That's a very relevant question, especially when we address newcomers. This could be a very powerful question because in every atom, the Paramatma is there. In every atom and in every subatomic particle, the Paramatma is there. And that's how creation took place. We know, no? When the universe was created, it was inactive. The Mahatattva was inactive. The Lord has to agitate by his glance, by the time factor, by injecting all the souls. It was still not acting. The demigods go to the Lord and pray, "Oh Lord, you have created all the 24 elements and we are the lords of all these elements," but we don't know. Again, the Lord has to enter. So we have to realize that everything, the hand of the Lord is there. So everything here is spiritual. So yesterday, His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj was giving a class on Bhagwatam. So one question was, actually I had this question in my mind and I took the mic, but before I could ask the question, Maharaj answered it for another question, so I returned the mic. They were wondering, you took the mic or you returned the mic? Maharaj has already answered my question. So Maharaj said, in this world, how to identify something as material or spiritual? So Prabhupada says, if a material object gives spiritual results, then it is spiritualized. So Prabhupada would say in his class, for example, I am using this mic, I am using this paper, and I am using this chair and table, etc. And through that, I am propagating the message of Krishna consciousness. They have all become spiritualized. So it is not enough that the Paramatma is present in everything. Paramatma deliberately has remained inactive here. See, Paramatma is only a witness, right? Upadrishta anumantacha. The Lord is present in us as Upadrishta. Whatever you see, he also sees. Upadrishta. Drishta means seer. Upadrishta means associate seer. You see, he also sees. Upadrishta. Anumantacha. You see something, then you become attached to it, right? Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangas tejupajayate sangat sanjayate kama, like that. So the soul develops some attachment and he wants to enjoy. The Paramatma refers, is he eligible or not? Eligible, he gives green signal to the nature. Okay, permit him. Permit. He's called Anumanta. So Upadrishta Anumanta, he's neutral. He's absolutely neutral, like a judge. To the judge, the court cases come. Somebody he puts him in life imprisonment. Somebody he releases him. Somebody he gives him wealth. From somebody he takes away wealth. Judge is neutral. According to what they deserve, he does. So Paramatma is also like that. So the Paramatma in this world is like that to everyone, except to the yogi, because yogi is directly developing a relationship with the Paramatma. So he has a different connection. So even though we are all living in a completely spiritual world, are we conscious of that? So we have materialized our soul, if I may say so. Instead of spiritualizing matter, we have materialized spirit. So the point is, the solution is you become spiritualized. You become connected to your soul and to the super soul, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then it doesn't matter whether you live in this world or not. There is no matter. It's all spirit only. But you have to develop that consciousness by Krishna consciousness only. By regularly chanting, following regulative principles, coming in association of senior Vaishnavas, reading the books of Srila Prabhupada, hearing his amazing lectures, serving Vaishnavas. That way, you will awaken your spirituality. Your body will become spiritualized, correct? So how does the body become spiritualized? When the body serves Krishna, when you cook for Krishna, when you shop for Krishna, when you maintain your house for Krishna, then your body is also spiritualized. So till then, it is material. When I use my mouth to speak all kinds of nonsense, Gramya Katha, it's all material. But when I open my mouth, I speak only Krishna. Then it is spiritual. So this is the way we should make people understand that even though actually, honestly speaking, there is no matter at all. Material energy is only a small outcome of the internal energy. See, the Brahma Jyoti is spread everywhere in the spiritual sky. The Supreme Lord is there, and the Vaikuntha planets are there, and the light arising out of the body of the Lord is spread everywhere as Brahma Jyoti. That is a spiritual sky. There is a light of the body of the Supreme Lord. In that light, in one corner, one cloud is created. In this cloud only, Mahavishnu lies down. So what does the cloud do? The cloud's business is to temporarily cover the light. That's temporary. Because cloud itself is temporary. The sun is the source of the cloud also. So this is material world. Our entire material creation is a small cloud, a temporary cloud in the Brahma Jyoti, which is eternal. And that is where the Mahavishnu comes. And so you realize that actually there is nothing material. Material is simply consciousness. Our consciousness has become material. How? It has become polluted. How it became polluted? I want to enjoy separately from Krishna. And so we are given this body. This body is simply a shell, a covering to the soul, so that the soul can operate through all the 10 senses and experience the world, material world. So how? There is no material consciousness. That's only spiritual consciousness. But material consciousness enters when we identify falsely with the body and we start to enjoy this material world. I am the master of what I survey. This is what Prabhupada always repeats. That has created a material world for us. The moment you transfer this consciousness to Krishna, then wherever you see, you'll see Krishna. Tavara jangama dekhi, nadeke tandra murti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, in everything the devotee sees his Ishtadeva Spurti. In everything he sees only his Ishtadeva. He doesn't see anything else. That's why Uttama Bhakta never preaches. Uttama Bhakta cannot preach because he sees Krishna everywhere. Uttama Bhakta has to come down to the level of Madhyama Bhakta to preach. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like Prabhuji, I understood that the only thing is that Paramatma is there in everything, but because we are into this materialistic body and gaining materialistic, our consciousness has become materialistic. So till we dovetail everything or we connect ourselves to the Supreme Lord, we can't get spirituality or we can't be in the spiritual world. Even if we are living here, if we are connected to him, we will be in the spiritual world. So that is right, Prabhuji, or something left?
Yeah. Basically, you have to understand, like nectar of devotion, we start from Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana, Kriya, Anarthani, Vritishcha. Like that we go now. So we are in Sadhana Bhakti. So in Sadhana Bhakti, we should persist in the association, because Sadhana Bhakti starts with association Sadhu Sangha, right? First you have Shraddha, which is the result of your so many Bhakti Sukriti you have accumulated over so many lifetimes, the mercy of Vaishnavas. So you develop the Shraddha. You are sitting in this class. You are believing Bhagavad Gita, you are believing Krishna, you are believing Prabhupada, the Parampara. That is a Shraddha you have. Now don't waste this Shraddha. Use this Shraddha fully to grow it further. The Shraddha is now a small bud. Grow it further so that it will become a fully grown blossom one day. And that will be your Prema Bhakti. So right now we are in Sadhana Bhakti. We have to move on from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Under the guidance of spiritual master, we enter into Bhajana Kriya, performing devotional service. Then Anartha Nivritti Syat. Then Anartha Nivritti takes off. Slowly your Anarthas will go. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsya. Slowly they start leaving you, and one day you will reach the stage of Nishka. So, yes, until we reach the stage of Bhava, our sadhana bhakti will continue. Until that time, the anarthas will continue to trouble us. That means there will be a coexistence of spiritual and material in our consciousness. On the one side, we will be trying to remember Krishna, and by that process, we will try to push the matter away. But the matter will try to again reclaim its space in our consciousness by pushing Krishna away. This is a tussle that will go on. But by steadily engaging devotional service in the association of devotees, we'll be able to fight with Maya. Prabhupada says, this material world is simply a war on Maya. It's a war on Maya. So we have to remain conscious of that. Once you reach Bhava and then Prema, Maya has no influence on you. Then everything has become spiritual. It is not a question of whether you are in this material world or in the spiritual world. It is only your consciousness, whether your consciousness is fully Krishnaized or not. That is the key. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yeah, Prabhuji. This last point is very valid, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, all our acharyas and supreme spiritual masters, they are on these stages, Prabhuji, like Bhava and Prema, because they are not on the material platform. They are on the spiritual platform. This is just for my understanding, Prabhuji.
Yeah, they are all on the Prema platform.
Okay.
Actually, our acharyas, especially the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, they are very, very special. Actually, we are very special. Do you know that? We have taken birth in this 28th Yuga cycle of the 7th Manvantara of our present Brahma, correct? This happens only once in a day of Brahma. 7th Manvantara, 28th Yuga cycle, Kali Yuga, or the junction of Kali and Dwapar. There is a time Krishna personally, Swayam Bhagavan, comes down. Same way 500 years ago, the same Swayam Bhagavan appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have appeared within 500 years of Chaitanya. Prabhupada would always become, so exuberant to say this, how fortunate we are to have taken birth. So we are very, very special people. Somehow the Lord has selected us to give us this opportunity. So we should take full advantage of this. We should take full advantage of this. Push ourselves into devotee association as much as possible. Actually, honestly speaking, Prabhupada says, you are either in Krishna consciousness or you are in Maya consciousness. There is no via media. Same way, if you are either in devotee association or you are in non-devotee association, there is no via media. And if you are in non-devotee association, the recommendation is you should only give association, not take. If you take association of non-devotees, it is like a leaking bucket. You have a bucket which is leaking. You go to devotees to fill it up with milk and you come out and it is all leaking away. So very, very important for us to mindful, very alert about our association. We should always be careful to remain in devotee association. How to remain in devotee association? Switch on Prabhupada's record, Prabhupada's speech. Here, you are in spiritual association. It's so easy, actually. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, wonderfully explained. Partly my question, whatever it was, it got answered partly, but yet I'll just put forth the question, Prabhu. My question was that when you say that we have to be soul conscious, now while we are Krishna conscious, that we see that everything we do should be dovetailed unto Krishna, we are very seldom, at least I'm talking about myself, into soul consciousness, Prabhuji. It's always, even if I'm doing or dovetailing anything to Krishna, it is materially I'm conscious. So as you are saying that when you are doing anything for Krishna, even your body becomes spiritual, Prabhu. Is that my understanding is correct, Prabhu? After you explain the last bit, I understood this much.
Yeah. So that's very nice, actually. See, let us look at the definition of Rupa Goswami. Anya Vilashita Shunya, Jnana Karma Dhyanavratam, Anukulyena Krishna Vishima. So it is a matter of with what consciousness we are serving Krishna. Anya Abhilasha means any Abhilasha which is connected with the body, connected with the bodily consciousness. Right? True Abhilasha is for the soul. So if you have the soul desire, you are called Akama. Akama. The devotee is called Akama. Devotee has no desire at all. How can you say that I want to serve Krishna so nicely? How do you say I am desireless? I am full of desires. I want to serve Krishna opulently. That's not called a desire. So when you are in original constitutional position, your desire is no longer considered as a desire. The original constitutional position is what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to revert to that position. Not something new we are trying to get. We are trying to go back to our original self. Nothing new we are trying to get. It is our original self. So that way, we are trying to achieve the Akama platform. So in trying to achieve the Akama platform, we are trying to move away from Sarvakama or Moksha Kama platform. Neither should we have any material desires, which is called Sarvakama. Moksha Kama, the desire to somehow become free from all kinds of suffering and enjoyment. I hate this material. I want to be out of it. Moksha Kama. Both are called Kama. But Krishna Kama is Akama. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. This is what Chaitanya Charitamrita says. So that way, when you are serving Krishna with your body, for what purpose you are serving Krishna? So come back to Anya Bilashita. What is your desire? You want to please Krishna, correct? That is a desire of the soul, not of the body. The desire to please Krishna without any motive. I want to please Krishna because he will give me this or that.
No, so Prabhuji, I am in a state very funny. I don't know how to describe, but I am in a state where I don't have desires, material desires, but I am serving Krishna because I am getting pleasure, Prabhuji. I am not having this consciousness that I'm pleasing Krishna. I am unable to get into that consciousness because it's just going to temple pleases me, reading Bhagwatam pleases me, attending classes, chanting, everything pleases me, Prabhuji. So I'm not able to get into the consciousness where I am pleasing Krishna.
When
That
you
is my
say
state.
me, who is that me?
So that understanding, Prabhu, I'll need a little help to understand what I.
According to scripture, only in the soul the desire to serve Krishna resides. It doesn't reside in the body. It doesn't reside in your subtle body also. It doesn't reside in your mind, intellect, or false ego. The desire to serve Krishna resides in the soul. And the reciprocation of Krishna is felt in the soul. So the happiness we receive by serving Krishna is actually felt in the soul. Unless you can completely introspect, layer by layer, you remove all your coverings and see whether there is still sticking any kind of material desire. Either to acquire something material or to get rid of something material that I don't want, if that is there. See, actually, in NOD, this nice example is given of Raktaka. Raktaka is a personal servant of Krishna. He is fanning. Krishna is lying down resting and Raktaka is fanning him. Suddenly his limbs are trembling and his body is freezing and his eyes are clouding with tears. He cannot see Krishna. And he has a job. He has to fan Krishna. To give him pleasure, he has to fan Krishna. But while doing that, this Satvika Bhava is obstructing him. Satvika Bhava is simply a manifestation of internal ecstasy, to which all of us are longing. But Raktaka, he is chastising, condemning. What is this? This is obstructing me. I don't want this ecstasy. I want to serve my Lord. So that is the experience of the soul. The happiness that comes in serving the Lord without any ulterior motive. That is actually what we are all longing for. So, well, we can always consult our senior mentor Vaishnavas to find out. They will be able to guide us where there is some kind of a pollution hiding. Because like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say, Puja, Labha, Pratishtha, they are so subtle, it's very difficult for you to really identify and overcome them. So we can never, as a Vaishnava, we are never independent. We are always dependent on our seniors only. And that is, we declare our dependence as Vaishnavas. We never declare independence. We declare dependence on Krishna and Vaishnavas, and we are safe. Prabhupada uses such nice examples. He says, Anatha, Sanatha. He says the street dog is Anatha. He has no master. But the dog which has got a collar around its neck, oh, he has a master. He's so happy. Oh, there is my master. So we all have master. Our Srila Prabhupada, and then our senior Vaishnava, God brothers, God sisters. They can always guide us. So when we have specific doubts on this particular aspect, I want some, then you should always approach them in a very open mind. Dukhyamakyati prichyati. Shadvidam priti lakshan. Right? How do we share our love with Vaishnavas? Dadadi pratigrishnati. Dukhyamakyati prichyati. Bhukte bhojete chaiva. Shadvidam priti lakshan. So you have to always invite devotees home or get invited to devotees' homes. We feed them, they feed us. We open our heart to them and they open our heart. That way the Preeti grows, and Krishna is very much present in these exchanges. Prabhupada says in the Chamber of Commerce, businessmen are also doing it. In the Association of IMA, medical doctors, they are also doing it. Engineers Association, they are doing it. Devotee Association, we should also do it. Devotees should come together and eat together, right? And share together this consciousness. And that way we grow in spirituality. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nectarian session, Prabhuji. I think no more questions. And thank you for answering beautifully, Prabhuji, for all the questions and giving the analogy of peeling the onion, Prabhuji. With this material world is, we know, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. And as we go on peeling the onion skin, we will be left with tears only. So beautifully explained, Prabhuji. Thank you for the analogy. Wonderful session, Prabhuji. Thank you all, Matajis and Prabhujis. Shall we end the class, Prabhuji?
Thank you. Yeah, you all inspired to speak. Like the exchange between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every time. If you read Harinam Chintamani, there Mahaprabhu is questioning Haridas Thakur. Or in the Kovur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is inspiring Ramananda Rai. In all these cases, they always say it is the speaker who is making the questioner who is making the speaker speak things. So that way, your enthusiasm made me speak. Whatever offenses, maybe I have overstepped my own domain because I am still very much a neophyte devotee. There's a long way to go. I am full of faults. So please forgive me for whatever mistakes I may have done. Please take the good points. As devotees, we are all considered as hamsas. We always take what is good from all around us. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare Krishna,
for the
Prabhuji.
wonderful
Pranam.
session. Hare Krishna.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Thank you
so
all,
much.
Mataji.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank
See you
you,
tomorrow.
Mataji.
Same time.
Thank you, Sunila.
Thank you, Prabhuji, once again.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.